Hi, I'm Linda with paperboutique.blogspot.com, and today I'm going to show you how to make these quick and easy paper bows. I recently saw Anna Griffin on HSN and she was demonstrating her new paper bow embellishment kit. So I decided to make one using my Cricut and my Cameo. The great thing about these bows is that you can use your Cricut machine or other cutting machines to make them, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. I even found a template online so you can make them without using a cutting machine. Be sure to visit my blog and I'll have all the links there. Well, I loved Anna's kit so much that I decided to make a box of bows for my friend who loves to craft. Anna had her bows in a cute storage case, so I thought, why not a box? Well, let's talk about the box first that I made, and I'm going to turn it just a little so you can see. And for this particular box, I used my Cricut Sweet Tooth Boxes cartridge, and I love that, and cut my box at 9 inches. The finished box measures 5.5 by 5.5 inches, and I don't know if you can see, but I used a transparency sheet to cover the center. And the box is on page 60 of the cartridge handbook. Now, normally I wouldn't put 3 bows on a box, but since this is a box of bows, I thought, why not? And I adhered the bows with removable tape so my friend could use all of them and just remove them and keep the box. Well, let's talk about the bows, and I'm going to show you all 3 of these different styles, but let me show you what's inside. And I'm going to pull some of these out. Here's the first bow we're going to be making, and this is a bow made from, these bows are Lori Whitlock, and it's from a Silhouette online. And let me just move the rest of these out of the way. This will be the first bow, and I'm going to show you how, I don't know if you can see all of those. All I did differently is make them in different sizes. This one is Teresa Collins paper, and it's super heavy cardstock. And then these little ones are just text weight. So before we even get started, I'm going to pause for just a second because my beautiful cat just joined me, and we'll pick it up in a moment. I'm back. That was my, I don't know if you saw him in frame. I have almost a 20-pound cat that thought it would be fun to jump on my craft table. So sorry for the interruption. Before we get started using this Lori Whitlock file, I want to talk to you about a few techniques that will pertain to all the bows we're making. First of all, before you even start, I'm going to move these aside. You're going to want to be aware of the paper grain. When you get your cardstock, it folds in one direction a little easier than the other. So what I did, because I want the fold to go this way, I want it to fold easier, I laid, and here's an example, I laid my bow going this way instead of going up and down, because then it would have been harder to fold and it could have cracked. That's one of the tricks. And the next thing I want to talk about is Scotch Quick Dry Adhesive. Normally I use Zip Dry, but I've really, for this project, I like that this is quick dry, so I strongly recommend it. You could also use a glue gun as well, but this works super, super easy. Well, let me go ahead and demonstrate this technique. These are the pieces, excuse my arm in the video, that you'll get if you purchase the online file from the Silhouette. It's a Silhouette online store. It's an SVG file, and we'll talk about many different ones. Comes in 3 pieces. I wanted to start with the heaviest cardstock to show you. What I do is I very carefully just continue to roll it with my fingers so that it bends in every little, like 1/16 of an inch. I curl it. What you can do, otherwise you're going to get a crease in your bow, is I'm using my Zig 2-way glue roller. You can roll it carefully. You don't want any creases right around your Zig roller. And that's just one of the little tips. I'm going to bring in my glue. I'm not actually going to do this. I'm not going to take the time, but I'm going to show you. At this point, what I'll do is I'll just put a little bit of glue right here, hold it for just a second, and that would be the quick dry adhesive. Hold it a little longer than I'm going to show you. Put another drop of glue right there. Overlap it. Oh, I overlap it about 1/8 of an inch, or maybe 3/8 of an inch. And then you're going to hold that. What I normally do is I'll put a paper clip here and I'll walk away and let it dry. And then go ahead and flip it over. And obviously it'll be like this. And then you'll have this piece of paper, and you'll just go ahead and fold it around. It'll be scored for you in the file. I do my own scoring, but it will be scored if you want it. And then you'll just glue it, overlap it in the back and glue it. And then when you're done, I love this little tail, you can do this adorable little tail just like that. And it's the cutest bow. Let me bring in, and this is the one, and then this is done with a text weight paper. And the fun thing about text weight paper is it cuts beautifully on the Cameo. For the setting I used 1 for speed, 30 for pressure, and 2 for the blade. And it's just, this is another heavy cardstock. And you can use double-sided if you want, but look how cute, just one-sided, and you just make the different sizes. Now if you want a little bit different look to your bow, what I did for this particular bow is I cut, there's your tail, I just cut it in half, and then when you're done, you can just glue one here and one here. So you have a different tail. And that's what makes this so much fun, and you can do all sorts of different things like that. Well, let me show you another bow. We've really talked about the Lori Whitlock bow that you can find online at the Silhouette store. Here's another one that you can find online. I'm also a huge fan of a little hut, and this is also available at the Silhouette online store. Same principle, you have it over, instead you have 2 pieces, and what I've done is I've gone ahead and curled them, and this one comes with another cut that you just put in the center, but I decided I wanted a flower instead. So I just did a punch and put a little brad. I'm going to stick it through the center here. I hope you can see that. And then through here. And then all you do is bring the bottom. Oh, this is so cute. Bring the bottom. And then you just bring that through. I hope I'm still in camera here. And then you just open your brad. And isn't that adorable? Let me bring in the box, the lid, and you can see. Now for this one, it doesn't come, the file doesn't come with tails, but what I did is I went ahead and used the tail, I call it tail, I'm not sure if that's the correct term, but this piece of the bow, and then I cut it in half, and I overlapped it a little because I didn't want it so long. And you could also do it like this, which would be a really cute look. But in this one, I did like I did earlier and just cut this in half and then just glued it to the back. It's so sweet. And oh my gosh, you could do this in so many different colors for so many different holidays. Now, I also want to mention to you another file that you can get on Silhouette Online, and then we're going to talk more about Cricut and some other files. This is one that's from, let me stop and think. Oh, this is a la K design, and it's all one piece. So for this one, you're going to want to use double-sided. And then all you're going to do, you're going to curl it again, glue it down, and then just wrap this around and then go to the back. It's super easy. Once again, you're going to glue this down, overlap it a little, wrap it over, and it's just one piece. Let me bring this one in to show you. And this is the one, once again, this is from A Little Hut. This is from Lori Whitlock, and this is from A La K Designs. Now, if you want a free SVG file, you can go to SVG Cuts, and there's a free file there that is almost exactly like the Lori Whitlock file. So that's another option. Then let me show you one more option. And this is from Allie Dosdale's blog, and I'll go ahead and post a link at the end of my YouTube, or at the end of my video and on my blog. And this is just a free template, and I scaled this one to 80%, and you can see it's very similar. It'll be very similar to the SVG cut file and to Lori Whitlock. So super easy. Next, I want to mention that the Cricut Craft Room, for those of you that own a Cricut machine, has a set of 9 different bows on the Cricut Craft Room. And just in case you don't have or don't use the Cricut Craft Room, this particular cartridge, the Sweet Tooth boxes, and I believe there are more Cricut cartridges that have the bow as well, but on page, let me see if I can find that, page 59, here is a bow. Now this bow is a little bit different. I don't know if you can tell. It doesn't have the tab that goes around the middle. Both ends just come in and meet, but you could go ahead and add you could cut your own little rectangular tab. And here's just an example of the Lori Whitlock one, and you could just create your own little rectangular piece there to do it. Now lastly, I just want to show you a paper bow that I made, and it's so funny when you start using these paper bows, they almost look like ribbon. And I'm going to be posting this project next Monday on my blog, and there'll be directions to it, but I wanted to show it to you, kind of a sneak peek with the bow. And look how cute that bow is. And this is text weight paper. This again, this one's using the Lori Whitlock bow, the very first one, and then I cut the tails in half and then just glued them behind, added just a little button with some twine. Isn't that darling? I just think that the bows are so super cute. And I'll bring this back in to just show you one last time. And I would like to thank you for watching and bearing with me and my cat. And please visit my blog at www.paperboutique.blogspot.com for more projects and ideas. Bye-bye.